Hey everybody, JJ here with another episode of Flipside Up with JJ. Today, I am honored and thrilled to have back my good friend, Mark the Lender Abramovich. Mark, welcome back, brother.
Thank you, JJ. It's great to be back.
Oh man, always good to have you here. Hey, we talked a little bit last time about what you do and how you came about and your growth. I just wanted to chat a little bit about our favorite topic. Us. You know, we met in Jacksonville.
Yep.
And a very good friend of ours, Zana Hilaire, who I met in Denver, had said, "Do you know Mark Abramovich?" I says, "No, I think I heard the name." "Oh, you got to meet this guy." And was it Zana that told you about me?
Zana told me about you, and I saw you on Facebook. Listen, you're prolific on it, and what I've noticed is those of us who do start taking notice of each other. We notice who's doing, who's presenting, who's posting, and we take notes. So I took note of you, and I saw that you were in a lot of photos with people, that you were meeting people, that you were there. And additionally, it didn't hurt that everybody's response was, "You're a fun and great guy to be around."
Great, yeah. You know, one of the things I constantly talk about, one of the lines that we're told, you don't market your business, you market yourself. It's not who you know, but who knows you. So make yourself known. And with trying to get my business going, because I'm sure trying to get your business going, we have to make an effort that people know who we are, because that expands your opportunities. If you don't get out of your box, you're really holding yourself back. So with that, we met in Jacksonville. And what was crazy is we're sitting in there, I think it was the Thursday night before the Friday boot camp, and we're looking, without getting into a bunch of names, we're looking at a who's who of mastery people.
Yep.
And I said to you, "I can't believe all the people I'm sitting around here." And what do you say to me?
I said, "I can't believe I'm sitting around with these people here." And it was actually, that phrase was thrown around by quite a few people
in
the same group saying, "I can't believe I'm sitting with you guys. I can't believe I'm sitting with you guys," while all of us are looking at each other kind of going, "We're just students. We're just students working this whole real estate thing. We all come with our past, our backgrounds, our expertise in whatever we did before Fortune Builders, and here we are."
Yeah, but the commonality to that is all these individuals, whether they're a coach, whether they're an event speaker, whether they're a successful mastery student, a lender or investor, they've made an effort to make themselves known. And by making yourself known, you expand your opportunities.
Yes.
And the other thing that Mark talks about, I'll let him get into this in a second, it's not what you're doing now that really can make your thing going. We're all doing curriculum, we're all reading books, we're all going to classes and seminars. But Mark, it's what we did beforehand.
Yes. So here's a ninja tip, if you want to call it that, for people when they're networking. Ask what the person did or does outside of the real estate world, outside of Fortune Builders, outside of whatever event you're in. Ask them what they did or do outside of it. You'll be amazed by who you're surrounded by. So while numerous different interactions with people from this, and funny enough, you and I, when we were sitting in Jacksonville, I asked you, "What did you do, or what do you do?" And you said, "Well, I come from, I'm from Hollywood, and I come from the TV and production world." And I said, "Well, why don't you do that?" So here's the story. I was at the Baltimore boot camp recently, and I was walking and speaking with a friend of mine, an investor out of Philadelphia, and another person approached us and said, "Oh, could we speak? I see you're a lender." I said, "Sure." But I said, "What do you do outside of Fortune Builders?" And the individual said, "Oh, I'm a physician." "Really? What kind of physician?" And he said, "Well, I do internal medicine, nerves and muscles, how they interact." And I said, "Really?" And the person I was speaking with said, "Can my wife speak with you? I think she needs to talk to you." And they exchanged numbers and made a connection that was completely outside of Fortune Builders, had nothing to do with real estate, but it was something that was helpful to both of them outside of the real estate world.
Mark, it's huge to the success of our business to develop the relationships with the people that are around us. As they say, we are the accumulation of the 5 people we spend the most of our time with, which is why I love spending time with you.
Thank you.
But in addition to that, you know, you don't always want to talk about your lending and your borrowing and your building, but it's the relationships that we develop and actually getting to know someone. Yeah, I know Robert, I know Inga, I've heard about the things you did before Fortune Builders, things that makes you who you are. And, you know, as you reach out to your community, there's an acronym that we've been given by a very, very knowledgeable person that is basically the 4 letters spell the word Ford. And that is family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. As you meet people, you don't necessarily want to focus on work all the time, but get to know them. Do they have kids? Do they have dogs? Are you into horseback riding? Hey, I see you have a bunny. You know, tell me about the bunny. I got a bunny called Strawberry. You know, I got a horse. But do people have kids? What are their dreams?
Right.
What are their ambitions? As you meet people, as you network, as you take advantage of opportunities to connect with people that maybe you've heard of or people that you know you really, really want to connect with, find out about them. Listen, let them talk. Let them tell you about their family, the job they do. Are they a physician? Are they an architect? Are they a coach? Are they a teacher at school with kids? Find out what they love and what makes them who they are. It's important as you network to build your relationships, to build your base. But if you don't share a sincere interest in the people that you're connecting with, they're going to see that you really don't care. I really care about who somebody is.
Right.
You know, I care about how I can help someone else. And to help someone else, I need to find out what they want to do. What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? You know, what does your job relate to? So it gets back to that acronym of FORD: family, occupation, recreation, and dreams.
What really helps is if you can combine all 4. If what you're doing with your family coincides with your occupation, with your recreation, and with your dreams, then actually you're having a wonderful time. My occupation and my recreation definitely coincide. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy talking to them. I'm enjoying the time you and I are spending here. And I don't know, is this an occupation or is this recreation? The dream is to help other people grow.
I'm a people person, if you haven't figured that out by now. Just a little bit. And what we have here is fantastic. The opportunity to do real estate, the opportunity to be in a program that starts with networking, but as the old saying goes, you are the result of the 5 people you spend the most of your time with. Now, it might not be face-to-face time, but through moments like this, or on the telephone, or through boot camps, I'm able to see the people that I've really become closest with. I would imagine my 5 closest friends right now in my life, 3, if not more of the 5, are members of Fortune Builders who are part of the mastery community. Yourself, Zana Hilary, Donnie Chandler, the list goes on. James Vaughn, who's a great guy in Houston. I can go on and on with the fantastic people that we've met, but it's the relationships. And that's something I never really imagined would be as huge a part of my life when I started this journey as it has today. And not only helped me professionally, but just the confidence and the comfort and the reassurance to know that there's someone there to help me. There's someone there to answer a question for me. And that begins with me making the effort to get to know people, finding out what our commonality is, what's our thread, what connects us. One of the things, obviously, I love about the journey are the people I've met and the relationships that I've created. What I get back to is one needs to take a personal interest because that's how your relationships are formed. But when we remember why we're here, it's to become successful investors and to make the right moves with our opportunities. And so I see a lot of people posting about, hey, I need gap funding or I need private money. And you know, I've got some money that I'm ready to invest. I'm thinking, you know, do I want to put $20,000, $40,000, $60,000 into one of these deals here? Southern California, your average house costs $750,000. But I now realize I can go out of state and I could find a project of a similar size house for maybe $150,000.
Yep.
And that sounds crazy, but I can now participate in deals in other markets throughout the country. Now, as a new investor and you as a lender, now we have a relationship as friends, and I could rely upon my relationship with someone who's successful within our industry to help me.
Right.
And I say now that as a new investor, speaking to experienced lender, what are some of the things I need to consider as far as my criteria? How do I evaluate opportunities? What do I need to look at? What do I need to consider?
The first thing is the deal analysis and structuring of the deal. This is vital in my opinion. You have to analyze the project and know exactly what the profit will be, what the return on investment will be. I hear a lot of investors, especially beginners, say, oh, I'm new, I want to get a deal done, so I'm okay with less profit being done. No. It's because you have less experience. This is exactly where you want the extra padding. You don't know what's going to happen when a wall is opened. You don't know what will happen in terms of holding times. So you want to have a bigger pad. So deal analysis is number one. The second part of it is the structuring of the deal, which is, are you actually lending or investing into this property? Are you a lender where you just have a lien? Right? You're secured by a lien on the property so that the person you're involved with cannot just run away with the money. When we hear of recording done, what that means is it gets recorded at the local government agency so that when you're selling the property and the buyers do a title search, it pops up that, hey, JJ actually has a lien on this property and needs to be paid off as a lender on it, so that the seller or the investor you're involved with cannot just disappear with your money. We're surrounded by great people, but nonetheless, you have to protect yourself because there are some who might not be as forthcoming and upstanding citizens of the community. So you want to have that security. Now, if you're investing into the project versus lending, you're actually a member of the LLC. Now you're a member of the LLC that owns the property. So actually, your security is that you're an owner of this company. You're a partner in it. So your security comes from that. Now, how to, let's just say, lend safer. If it was completely safe, right, there would be no risk and everybody would be doing it. There's always some element of risk involved. But here are my tips for how to do it safer. First thing is analyze the deal. Nothing beats that. A good deal is a good deal. A bad deal is a bad deal. Then you want to have the following three documents. You want to have the promissory note, which is the contract that states what you're doing, how much you're borrowing, whom you're borrowing it from, what you will repay them for it. The second document is the mortgage or deed. It's the security document. That's the piece of paper that ties you to the property and says that you are owed a debt for your involvement in this project. And that's your recorded deed, recorded mortgage security document. The third document you want is the personal guarantee. It is the borrower's personal guarantee that if the project goes wrong, they will personally reimburse you. We don't want to be going after people. We're interested in the project being successful, but if somebody defrauds you, this is the personal guarantee that allows you to step away from going after their company and go after them personally for malicious and fraudulent activity. Then there are two pieces of insurance you would like to have. One is the property insurance. So if anything happens to the property itself, you're insured, right? In the middle of a rehab, windstorm happens, a tree falls on the property, well, the insurance pays out and recoups your investment into it, right? Your loan on it. The other piece of insurance is title insurance. What this is for is to make sure that the chain of custody, that this property actually belongs to whom you're lending to. So you have three documents: promissory note, personal guarantee, and a security document. You have two insurances, which is the property insurance and the title insurance, and then you have the deal analysis itself.
Let me ask you, talking about the documents, we know there are certain things we have to look at, the deal analyzer, we have to estimate the cost of the repair, we have the purchase contract, and I think one of the things that gets overlooked is the importance of a real estate attorney. That you can't just take these documents verbatim. Sometimes they're a template and they're just fill the name in, fill the date in. But it's really, really important to get a real estate attorney to review those documents before you sign them. I say before you sign them, to make sure that everything's what it's supposed to be. Because not that you don't trust who's putting the document in front of you, but you need to just double check what you got going on before you step in with both feet. It's important to put a real estate attorney into one's project and make sure that that person is someone you know up front before you're in the midst of everything.
Yes.
You know, I think one of my favorite phrases is the handgun umbrella rule. Better to have one and not need it than need it and not have it. So your real estate attorney definitely fits into that wheelhouse. Mark, thank you for coming out. Again, we've talked about one of my favorite subjects, which is networking, meeting people. I'm a people person. Again, thanks for coming out. Thanks for sharing, telling us more about lending. And I can't thank you enough for coming out.
JJ, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure and an honor, and I would like to come back again if possible.
Fantastic, man. I'm going to Mark the Lender. Mark the Lender. On behalf of the team at Beechwood Home Solutions, we'd like to thank you for watching this episode of Flipside Up with JJ. Remember, your network is your net worth. It's not who you know, but who knows you. So when it comes to building your business, the time is now. Stay tuned for more episodes of Flipside Up with JJ.